This is G7G, and this topic comes in two parts. The first part is to synthesize information to draw conclusions. The second part is to evaluate arguments and conclusions. So we're going to look at this in two parts. Let's take a look at what it looks like to synthesize information. So synthesize means that you can take information from two different sources and kind of put them together to make your own conclusions. And so what we have here is a table on the left that has some coordinate pairs there, 2, 1, 8, 1, 2, 7, and 8, 7. And then on the right-hand side over here, we have a coordinate grid. And I have graphed those points out on there. And so if we synthesize all this information, is there any conclusions that we can draw about the shape that those 4 points make? So I take all this information, I put it together, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to connect the dots over here. And I notice that this thing has 4 sides, so it's a quadrilateral. I notice that this is, if I start counting, 6 units. If I count on this side, it's 6 units. If I count on this side, it's 6 units. 6 units. So what kind of shape is this? Well, right now, it's a rhombus because all the sides are the same length. And if I start to do some analysis on the ordered pairs, and if I start to calculate the slope between this side and this side, I find out that it has a 90-degree angle. And if I use the slope formula on all the other ones, I find out that these are all 90-degree angles because they're negative reciprocals. The slopes are negative reciprocals of each other. That means that it's a rhombus, but be more specific, it's a rectangle because of the 90-degree angles. But actually, even more specific is this is a square. All sides are congruent, and 4 right angles makes this a square. So this is an example where you have to pull information from multiple sources. In this case, it's a table and a graph, and you have to sort of make some conclusions about the information that you're given. Let's take a look at what it looks like to analyze or evaluate an argument. This is an actual proof that a real student wrote. It has to do with the measure of all the angles inside a triangle. What do they add up to? And that should be 180 degrees. So you may be given a problem like this on the end of course assessment and be asked to evaluate this person's reasoning. So you're kind of checking to see if this person's deductive reasoning has any holes in it, if there's any mistakes, if there's anything left out, anything that might make you say that there's faulty logic or faulty reasoning involved. So if you start just reading through, first thing I would do if I was faced with something like this is just read through each line. Since angle A, B, and C make a straight line, and they have this statement here, angle A plus angle B plus angle C equals 180 degrees, so that's here. That makes sense. So I would write that out, that I'm checking that, and that makes sense. And then the next line right here says, since alternate interior angles are equal, angle A equals angle X, and angle B equals angle Y. So let's go up there and check those. Angle B equals angle Y. That's true, because this and this are parallel. I like that. And then also angle A is congruent to angle X. I like that as well. That works. And the reason for it is alternate interior angles. That is true. And then lastly, it says angle X plus angle Y plus angle C equals 180 degrees. So overall, the reasoning here is pretty good. If I had to pick an argument or say something was faulty about this, maybe the only thing I would say is this. For this last statement, I don't believe there's a reason. So that would be a good thing to point out. Say you're making a comment here, but why can you say that's the case? And I believe the thing that's missing is just the simple fact that the reason for this is substitution, because you're taking this 180 degrees right here, and you are substituting in angle A and angle B in place for angle X and for angle Y. And so that would be a valid reason for that. So this is an example of a proof that was written by a student, and what you're supposed to do is go through the proof and sort of pick out something that may be incorrect or something that you might be able to improve upon. And this is the final example for this standard.